Today's video is about me being disappointed with a website. If you're not aware of it, if you can't extract a file from an installer, you shouldn't run it at all. There are very few exceptions to this, and even less exception here should be given to a website that's putting out a repackaged version of the video game that you can download elsewhere. Relic.exe is a download for a video game called RustRelic. Whatever the website, it doesn't matter. The domain name for it was registered through UnDISCLOSED, but it was done through Webglobe from Czechoslovakia, and they restrict full whois data, so you have to go through a specific one to get that information, and that's where it leaks the contact email address, the real one. But RustRelic.eu, quote, normal, has, as of today, 34 people online out of 100. If you can see it. It doesn't even show up in your Rust Legacy downloads off of LegacyRust.eu or whatever's website download of it. Now, a couple of things here. Rust Legacy 2015 version, the one that works, the one that has the least amount of crap wrong with it, and the one that is physically able to be downloaded and extracted from the download. It's just a file. It might be from some really scurvy website, but you can extract it and run a virus scanner. It's 508 megabytes or 533 megabytes is what it really is. Declared value versus downloaded value, we don't care. Relic states that it's 488 megabytes, but it's actually 511 megabytes, which is a much bigger difference in reporting data. But okay, we'll just stick with this. Now, it could be the file system I'm looking at it on. I don't think so, but this is the point. Instead of it being something you can easily peruse before actually running it, it's a trust me bro installer. And I'm sure it's perfectly safe, except it's built on a installer routine that makes it literally impossible to scan it. It's a trust me bro installer. It's using Inno installer, INNO installer version 6.3. which is notorious as of 2024 June to be unable to be opened with any other file program, including Universal Extractor and innoextract, a program designed to do the extraction. You can choose to make it publish your installer in such a way that it can easily be scanned, but the company chose not to, apparently. Also, the domain name itself shows an error that makes it to where your web browser probably will refuse to use the website. I had to add an exception in order to do the download. And it downloads it as relic.exe, and aside from the slightly misreported file size, which I'm just going to assume is just a stupid error on my part, obviously it must be something going on with my system, you have to just trust me bro it. Okay? And again, the domain name is going through a domain name service and a registrar that doesn't share its data with all of the whois data websites, so I can figure out when the website was set up. The website was set up in 2004, November 21st, by UnDISCLOSED at seznam.cz, which is maybe just a throwaway email address. And it's, again, through Webglobe, s.r.o, Czechoslovakia, and that's webglobe.cz. And again, they're restricting full whois data to only whois.eurid.eu/en/search/domain and then RustRelic.eu. And again, it's not supposed to disclose the email address, but it does. That might be just a redirect, but that's not an email address that would just be a redirect. So I'm going to leave the information maybe on the imager and not put it on the YouTube description area. To repeat, again, it's using an installer that is just new enough as of June 29th, 2024 to make it to where you are not able to scan it to see what's in it. Now, you might be thinking, well, this is copy protection or they've modded it or whatever. All of the gameplay footage that I can find for Rust Relic or Relic Rust, or what I keep forgetting, what's the domain name called again? RustRelic.eu. All of the gameplay just shows it's a standard copy of Rust 2015, which is an extractable zip file that doesn't require that you download, at this point, that many iterations of an extractor. By the way, I want to point out the ones on GitHub. I want to point this out. GitHub is absolutely mind-fuckingly notorious for putting up broken downloads that say, oh, well, don't you have a DP directory? It literally it has to run a routine for DP directory. The file that you download from the website, which is done under 7Z format, is missing entire directory structures for doing the extractor. And this is an extractor for version 6.3, which should be able to do it, but it's missing half the code, or all of the code for all I can tell. Again, all of this would be solved if you just posted your piece of software you really didn't write, that you're repacking, in a way that makes it to where it's not gone out of its way to make sure we have to trust that you didn't install a malware routine in it. I have this sitting on my hard drive, and I'm obviously not going to run the extractor that's built into it, because I'm not going to. There's no reason for this. Again, the infamous words that should come with some sting from the 1950s where they go, dun, dun, dun. There is no technical reason for this. This file is no smaller for using innoextractor than a zip file. It really isn't, because the actual space taken up on the hard drive is only 20 megabytes smaller. Literally, that's it. I guarantee you, it's the same damn program. It has in it probably some extra features, and that'd be great. So here's my note for RustRelic.eu. Change your fucking download to literally a zip file. I don't want to hear it. Compress it with zip. I don't want to hear it. Making it balloon up from supposedly 488 megabytes to 500 megabytes is something that a lot of us would be okay with if we could just extract it, throw it in the root directory, and you could just name it Relic, the directory structure, and we know that it would just have a Rust playable. Well, no. This is the end of the discussion. Unless RustRelic.eu changes their standards and policies. No, really, change your company policy or whatever, and just makes it a zip file that we can extract without it running through innoextractor or any other bullshit that is obviously not needed, because it never is. I'm saying there is no technical reason for this for a reason. Also, if you use an enhanced version of it, we're all welcome to that. But I'm not going to do a Trust Me Bro installer when I don't have to. I get to examine it. And Inno installer is almost engineered to make that impossible. And again, I want to point out, it's using Inno installer 6.3. This is a program that was written in 2013. You do not need to use the newest version of Inno installer. And again, this website came up like a month ago. And this is fly-by-night as hell. Not being able to get a universal whois on it may just be because it's brand new. I don't believe that. This is some shady shit. Do not install RustRelic at all until they change everything over to using an easy extractor file. And yes, they will flag the video for abusive behavior or some bullshit until they can get rid of the video. Back up a copy of this. Description below will actually be only on the imager. That way they can flag it and prove it. I'll keep this file around somewhere. No, I'm going to archive the imager for it. That'll be good. The reason I use imager for storing these things, even though it won't let me put in full directory structures or some things, it'll let me get away with some information posted. Or maybe I'll just put it in the description and then I'll put it in the description for this video, archive the video before I make it visible, and then just put a link to the archive to the video. Because YouTube won't flag a link that ends up going to their own page. It's kind of funny. But again, don't trust this installer. Don't run it. It's running innoextract, which is designed to frustrate people who just want to do a virus scan or just extract the file. And again, these people do not own this software. If I make a version of it, I don't own it either. This is owned by Gary Newman and his friends at FacePunch. And again, we're privileged to be able to play these old games and have somebody make it to where we can run them, and I appreciate it. And RustRelic.eu, we really appreciate it. But I'm not trusting your installer because no one should. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And there is no technical reason for it. So fix it.